and the Victoria Monument in the middle there. Very familiar sight to so many of us over the years. The police outriders just coming through, and we'll let you hear the crowd.
You can hear it, Mary, but I can hear a cheer coming up, and I can see the car. I just about can see the Royal Standard on top of it, and a huge cheer and a round of applause has erupted.
Long live the King! God bless you, my darling. God save the King. So sorry about that, Mum. I'm so sorry. God bless the King! God save the King! King Charles III! God save the King!
Put your phones down to approach, guys. Enjoy the moment. Put your phone down, madam. Put your phone down.
We wish you success. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles.
Flowers, all your kind flowers.
God bless you. God bless you, Charles. God bless you. God bless you. You've got big shoes to fill, and I know you'll do. You're going to be a great team. You're going to be a fantastic coach. Good luck, Charlie. Oh, good luck, my darling. Oh, what a man. Long live the King. God bless you.
Thank you. All your best. And now, please, guys.
73 years they've known him as a prince. Now many of his subjects.
God save the King. God save the King. Thank you. So sorry. Thank you. Wishing you fond memory of you. Thank you. Wonderful memory.
Fond memory. Fond memory.
Lovely to meet you.
Put your phone down, guys. Put your phone down, please.
God save the King. God save the King.
Sorry for your loss. Guys, just put your phone down as we come past, please. Thank you.
Thank you for
down,
coming
madam,
out. We really appreciate it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Put your phones down, please, ladies and gents, as we come down. Put your phone down, sir.
That's with the boy hand.
Thank you, Charles. We love you, King Charles. We love your mum.
Long live the king. We are from Singapore.
Save the king.
Long live, sir. God bless I have
Just put your phones down.
Why did you say the kiss to your mum?
Put your phones down to come past, ladies and gents.
So you're looking at live scenes outside Buckingham Palace as the new king, Charles III, meets his people. And it is his first walkabout, Catherine, isn't it? And you said you find it very moving,
Yeah,
actually.
I find it moving. I mean, when we were watching his convoy drive here and you were talking about knowing the streets, I was thinking about a peculiarity of his life, which is that he does not know the streets. He only knows them from cars, and he knows them from stopping at places where people are waiting for him in particular configurations. And he has never had, and it's one of the strange and alienating features of his life, the ability just to wander and to discover London and to get to know London or anywhere.
Oh, we
where
got a
he
kiss
is.
then, Catherine.
But one of the things is, you know, Ian was talking about him liking to interact with people. It's more than liking. It's this need for a connection that his life has denied him. And you are now seeing, the reason it's moving is you are seeing this moment that his life has been building towards. And it's connecting on this mass scale in this very strange way. You know, and you heard the woman in the crowd shout something about Prince Philip and then correct herself. Prince Charles rather, and then correct herself. You know, he is now there as king, connecting in a way that his life has until now made very difficult.
And it's very, very difficult to do this. I was once walking with him in the very north of Scotland, just me and him. And it was a very windy day on the coast, and a woman was walking towards us with a dog, and he naturally said hello and was, you know, as he is, very friendly. And I'm not joking, she fell over. And he was, obviously helped her up, but he was completely shocked at this reaction, even then. I mean, and so, as Catherine was saying, it's very difficult for him to get over that divide. But he's a very human person, you can see it there.
And the response, the reception he's getting is very warm, isn't it? We've heard shouts of God Save the King. We've had God Save the King, and we loved your mum. And there was a chorus of God Save the King, and, you know, this must be as much as they could have dared to hope for.
Yes, I mean, I think
the sun shining.
It's very interesting that, you know, they stopped the car and he got out. It's wonderful that he's done this, and it's amazing how, when you are in that situation, how the crowd that might not be that interested to begin with, or rather surprised that he's there, will spontaneously burst into a round of applause. The wish is both ways. The connection that they want to make is as big as the connection he wants to make.
Look, it's her eyes there.
We can see him now just starting to examine all the flowers that have been laid, of course, in honour of his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, and they are starting to build outside. And I think he's probably waiting for his wife, Camilla, the new Queen Consort, and perhaps they're going to examine the flowers together. And there she is, shaking hands and accepting congratulations and condolences, as they both are.
He's always waiting for her. That's part of the feature of their relationship. And
there they are, very much together. And it's so difficult to imagine what it could possibly feel like. But this must be a massive moment for her too. She wasn't born to this. She didn't ever really anticipate that her life would turn out like this, I don't suppose. So it's massive for her as well as him.
Yes, it is, very much so. And but she's got the character to cope with it, I think, and that sort of stoicism. I think she's learnt a lot as well, particularly from the Duke of Edinburgh. I think she's had quite a few deep conversations with him about, you know, the role when he was alive, and you can see her behaving in a way that he behaved, and recognises the role, and she would be marvellous for him because she's a great sounding board. She brings him down to earth. I did have a conversation with her once. We wrote a book together, he and I, and I did ask her if she'd ever read it, and she said, of course not.
At least that was honest.
Which is exactly what my wife said as well. So, you know, it brings you down to earth, that sort of comment. But she knows exactly what he's talking about. She doesn't need to read the book, of course.
And she, unlike him, and to refer back to what you're saying, Catherine, she has lived in the real world, hasn't she? Albeit a wealthy and, you know, very privileged existence, but the real world.
Yes, that's part of her.
Let's listen to the cheers a little bit and we'll come back to you, Catherine.
To the side. Can you come to the barriers? To the barriers.
Stepping through the gates of Buckingham Palace as King Charles III. This is an enormous moment, isn't it?
Big moment for him, yeah. I should imagine that's a very deeply symbolic moment for him. He's arrived, as it were.
He's waited all his life for this.
Yes, yes, and quite happily waited as well, you know. He was at times frustrated, I think, but he's coming now into a role that won't be half as long as the time that his mother spent on the throne, but I think we will see, you know, a lot of continuity there. It was really interesting to watch that arrival because I imagine everyone was very nervous. What was the reaction going to be? And from what I was looking at, and obviously people are there because they want to be there, but it seemed to be positive. And people from all over the world, by the sounds of it.
Did you see there was a Trinidad flag?
Yes.
One lady said, oh, I'm from Singapore, and there did seem to be quite a lot of excitement and warmth.
Which he's been braced against hostility and indifference for most of his life. And it's an interesting one because he sometimes generates a little bit of that reaction.
And look, the Royal Standard.
Oh, that's...
King Charles III, Royal Standard, atop the flagpole at Buckingham Palace. Quite a moment.
Very big moment indeed, yes. That's as the old adage goes, you know, long live the king.
Yeah, yeah.